It is truly an honor to be able to spend time with you. You know, it's been the notion of going back to March 2020, kind of staggering. I feel the same way about January 6th. There are these seminal dates imprinted in our consciousness, where we've been dealing with things that are truly unimaginable. Recently in Congress, you know, I just kind of wonder if I recognize some of these people that I thought I knew, who appear to be in an alternative universe. But in fact, things are happening. Have you noticed the first gun safety legislation in 30 years? Now it's a C- bill, but nonetheless, people came together to do it. We passed an infrastructure package, $558 billion, focused on a low-carbon, equitable vision of how we rebuild and renew America. And we've got an administration that is committed to administering it in that fashion. The CHIPS legislation, you know, we sort of ground to a halt for supply chains brittle and fracturing for want of 27-cent computer chips. Not just the next generation. Well, we're moving to try and do that as well. And something that I'm extraordinarily proud of is the largest investment in alternative energy and carbon reduction in our nation's history that puts us on path to meet our national carbon goals. This is very exciting, and it's coming at a time, frankly, when we need that sort of energy and those resources to be available to us. This has been a difficult time in our community. You know that. You sense it. You see it on the streets. We have our work cut out for us to be able to navigate those challenges. And one of the things that strikes me that you bring to the party is an ability to communicate what the costs of failure are. We spend so much on failure in terms of failure in healthcare, in terms of not reforming our criminal justice system. Housing. If we spent the money that we spend on failure on the front end to solve problems, I'm convinced we could do it. And the models that you employ every day in the way you do business, the way you treat your vision for the company, for your employees, for your customers, and its relationship to the community is powerful. Robert Putnam wrote a famous book, Bowling Alone, that talked about how, you know, Americans aren't in bowling leagues anymore. More people bowl, they just don't do it together. And there's membership in clubs are down, and PTA and all this. Well, he wrote a second book that was entitled Better Together. And he had a chapter devoted to Portland and the Portland model and things that we have done that are national models. And I think that's our ability now to be able to marshal what we've done in the past, to be able to reach these challenges, to not run away from reform, but to embrace it and figure out how to do it right. We don't have problems with drugs on the street now because we're no longer arresting people for minor portions of drug. We got a problem because we're not implementing the reform and giving treatment and having the police do what they can do in terms of disrupting open-air drug markets. That wasn't legalized. But by getting them out of dealing with chippy minor things, they can concentrate on the real problems. We need to concentrate on how we implement reform. Reform in our food system, reform in how we rebuild and renew, criminal justice. These are things that are within our capacity. I am a huge fan of the B Corp model. I'm a huge fan and do a lot of work in Congress to promote employee ownership of enterprises. This is the wave of the future, engaging people in ways that they have agency, that they're part of the solution, that they're engaged, how they relate to one another, the community, and broader areas of responsibility. I could not be more excited that you are here, growing, thriving, modeling the behavior that we want others to do. I look forward to being your partner in Congress, your partner as a neighbor, as a customer of B Corps, because this is how we're going to come back, do what we need to do to make all our families safer, healthier, and more economically secure. Thank you very much.